everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty. And I really enjoyed Batman. Really feel like, kind of how really did a good job, trying to really help things build to what could be an epic climax. The past with this Batman run has not always been the best when it comes to building to an epic climax, but it's got me excited. So, they're doing something right. Tom King does something right if he even still gets me excited, even though we've had a love-hate relationship in the past, or I've had a love-hate relationship in the past with his writing. I thought that Justice League was really well done. I enjoyed it. It's kind of like, again, like building up towards everything, them meeting all these, the Justice Society, the future Justice League, Kamandi, all these different things. It's like now everything's coming together. Why they did it, there's stuff affecting all those different time periods, and it's just really, really well done. And Scott Snyder really dipping his toe into different lores in the DC universe is really, really cool. And you're really seeing that come through in Justice League. And X-Men was not bad. It was a lot better than the event books leading up to it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely not one of my favorite starts to an X-Men series at all. But for everything that I did not care for with the House of X and Powers of X, this kind of put me a little bit more at ease that maybe I could still get into this series, and that's something, I didn't want to not have X-Men or have X-Men books on my pull list. So the fact that this ended up being better than what I thought it would, kind of leads me to think that I'm going to be okay, and I'll still be able to get my X-Men fix, if you will, with this series. So all right, and that's pretty much it. I will see you guys when I get back here to the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got quite the stack of books here in this week's bounty, so let's jump right on in. First things first, we got Avengers number 25. It is the finale of the Challenge of the Ghost Riders. I've really enjoyed this story arc so far, and to quote the great Stan Lee, I'm ready to see how it ends. Enough said. I don't know if this is the end of Jason Aaron's run on this book, but if it is, it was a hell of a run. We will see what happens in the future with the Avengers, but this has made me care more about Ghost Rider than anything else in the past. Avengers number 25. And speaking of Jason Aaron, only this is heading towards the end of his run. We have King Thor number 2, the conclusion to everything that Jason Aaron has been writing in Thor for the last several years now, and it's really, really again, he's made me care more about Thor than I ever have in comic books. So yeah, just a really good series. I don't know how long this book's gonna last. I enjoyed number 1, and we'll continue to enjoy it as long as Jason Aaron's on here, because he's done an amazing job with everything. Some of them I've had to go back and read the trade paperbacks with, but this whole run has been my first, buying Thor on a semi-regular basis. Jason Aaron's done that for me, so he deserves to be commended for that. And don't know how long King Thor's going to last, but he's worthy of the hammer again, and we'll see how Mr. Aaron concludes an epic run with several different versions of an epic character. King Thor number 2. And we go to Marauders number 1. This is the first of some new X books that will also be out there. I picked this up because found out that down the road, Nightcrawler is going to be a part of this, and I'm a huge Nightcrawler fan. But the other reason I'm picking this up is Jerry Dugan is writing it, and I really enjoyed his Deadpool. I think Jerry Dugan's a good writer, and we'll see if I can get into a story like this. I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, as much as I did enjoy his Deadpool run, it just depends on what kind of story he wants to tell with these particular mutants. But if I'm into it, I'll add to my pull list, and we'll see how it goes. Marauders, number 1. Jumping to the world of DC now, we have Detective Comics, number 1014. The Mr. Freeze story arc continues. He continues to try to carry out his horrific plan, and, well, with the ending of the last one, with Nora trying to stop him, we'll see if that's Nora, if that's a figment of Freeze's imagination, or what is going on with Nora Freeze and the women that he has subsequently experimented on to see if he could save Nora Freeze. So, yeah, Peter Tomasi's Detective Comics is, without question, my favorite comic book on my pull list right now, and I am definitely excited to continue to read it. Detective Comics, number 1014. And sticking with Batman, we go to Batman Superman, number 3. It is the Shazam Who Laughs. And this has been kind of a... I really like what Williamson has done with this book. We kind of... It's not like a horror book, but you kind of get a little horror vibe from it, especially... And it works well with Superman, so it's kind of... It's just a very, very interesting book. Obviously, Clark and Bruce play well off of one another, and oh, it's just kind of, it's hard to describe. It's just really, really, it's darker than most Superman books, but it's not like so dark it turns you off to Superman like in other cases where they try to make Superman too dark, if that makes sense to you. Like I feel like in Man of Steel, they made Superman too dark and too much of a downer of a character, and kind of turned me off. This is dark, but it doesn't make me feel all down about Superman. So, I don't know. I've enjoyed it, and I really, really think it's a good book. So, hopefully it continues. Batman Superman, number 3. And sticking with Superman, we'll go to Action Comics, number 1016. The Naomi team-up will continue, and I wasn't really familiar with Naomi until the last issue of Action Comics, and I thought they did a good job, kind of letting me know who she is, why I should care, and trying to build her up as an interesting character. I've only read one book with her in it, so I'm not going to sit here and say she's one of my favorites, but they did a good enough job to make me want to continue to at least see what she does with Superman, and then if I enjoy that, maybe I'll go and check out more of her own stuff. But right now, I dug her in the last issue with how she dealt with Batman, Superman, and her interaction with the two heavy hitters of the DC universe. And well, we'll see how Brian Michael Bendis continues to write her and Superman. Action Comics, number 1016. From there, we go to The Flash, number 81. The Rogues might have won. Enough said. I really don't know what else to say about it. It's been a real good book with, I enjoy the interaction with the Rogues and with them kind of ruling Central City. It's interesting, and I like it. So, yeah. The Flash, number 81. From there, we go to Justice League Dark, number 16, The Last Days of Magic. And I just want to point out how awesome of a cover that is. That just looks really cool to me with, just everything kind of sitting around Zatanna's hat and got Swamp Thing's arm and then the lasso wrapped all around it. I just think that's a really, really awesome cover. It's a good book, and we'll see how it continues on with the Year of the Villain story, and see if this lasso being around the rest of her teammates means anything with Wonder Woman and the rest of the Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark number 16. And finally, probably other than Peter Tomasi's Detective Comics, the book I'm looking forward to the most, Terrifics number 21. God, this has been fun. It's with Bizarro and everything they've been doing in the Bizarro world. It's like with all the darkness and the negativity, it's still dark and it's still a little disturbing, but it's brought a lighter side of the darkness and a lighter side to this doom that has befallen the whole DC universe with this Bizarro storyline. It's been just the right amount of serious, the right amount of fun. It's just been an awesome story so far, and I like it. And yeah, it's just this book always brings a smile to my face whenever I see that it's part of my pull list when I get to the comic shop. So really pumped up about this one as well. Terrifics number 21. And that is it for me this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. For more content, go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. There you'll find every Thursday my collection comic of the week blog that is exclusive to my Facebook page. But on that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.